weird Chelsey fact. I didn't like chocolate till I was like 14 or something like that because I hated the fake chocolate flavoring in cakes. All of my family just thought I didn't get the chocolate gene. And no, I was fine with like chocolate candy. I just like good chocolate.
Good chocolate.
Yeah.
I
But
get that.
the opposite of good chocolate is bad coffee.
Yeah. Like I'll take like when I finally can get you up here, I will take you there and you can help me decide if it's maybe it's because I was in Nashville and we have such great coffee shops there. Like maybe that's it. I don't know. Like I used to be a barista. I didn't think I was that much of a coffee snob, but I'm really trying to like this place and I want to make sure their name isn't on here because they're very sweet. They're very sweet, wonderful, good people. They used to have these amazing bagels. I don't know what happened. I think that the woman who was making them maybe went to college. I don't know, but it's
how dare she better herself?
I know, dang her. Like priorities.
And so your problem was you worked as a barista. That will turn anybody into a coffee snob. I don't care where you work.
Yeah.
Every barista I have ever met, they look at my black coffee and they go,
if that's what you like, that's what you like, you know? Like
I take it black like my soul. Is that so much of a problem?
No. Nope. Because you know what you like. So that's what matters. Yeah. And then like I was big into coffee and then all of a sudden I couldn't have coffee. Like none. Like because I was like between coffee and Red Bulls and like I was taking in a lot and I was driving down I-40 and like all of a sudden like everything was slow motion but still moving really fast.
Oh, you hit hyperspeed.
Oh, it's
you
bad.
hit the fabled hyperspeed. I think that's technically a mental illness, but it is what every caffeine drinker is going for. We're going for warp speed.
Yeah. So my chiropractor at the time, right? My chiropractor's like, your adrenals are crashing. I'm like, oh, that can't be good. And he's like, you need to stop drinking coffee. And I'm like, oh, well, what am I going to put in my travel mug? He's like, it holds water and tea just fine. And I'm like, I'm fine. And 3 weeks later,
pretty sure it doesn't say that on the label. I'm pretty sure it's a coffee mug. I don't know what would happen if you put water in it.
All that so far so good because I do use water in it now because 3 weeks later my adrenals were in complete failure. Yeah. And medically like doctors don't because you can't treat with medicine, so some doctors don't even think it's a thing. Like the research I did on this was insane, but like because you have to like to have a healthier lifestyle and slow things down and reduce stress and yada yada. And I was at full speed, just go, 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 go. And my chiropractor was like, nope, no more coffee. You need to start getting at least an hour. I would prefer you to get 3 more hours of sleep, you know, like all these things. And so I did. But yeah, if I have a sip of like coffee with caffeine, I will instantly have a migraine.
So what was that process like of building your adrenals back up to health? I know that, yeah, what was that like?
It was painful, slow, because I was working towards a goal. So like I was driving for Uber and like putting in insane hours. And then working as a dog walker and doing photography. And like I was going through copious amounts of coffee. Like I would walk the world with 2 travel mugs full. If one was empty, I would like get the goals to fill the other one so I could just go, go, go. So it was like getting myself off the caffeine, reducing my soda intake, slowing down, doing yoga, going for walks in nature, and forcing myself to just, and like dealing with headaches and like some depression because then you get off that sugar. Because and I was also eating a lot of sugar and fast food stuff. So I reached out to a friend of mine who is a health coach in Nashville, and she's like, get ready. The next month is going to be miserable. I'm like, oh, that's great. She's like, you're going to get depressed. You're going to have flu-like symptoms. You're going to have migraines and headaches. And I'm like, oh, good. How long is this going to last? She's like, each one will last a week. And she was 1,000% right. I had migraines for a week. I had the flu for a week. The last 2 weeks, I got crazy depressed. It was insane. Yeah, so the first month was rough. The next 3 months, it was just really working on establishing a different lifestyle
So
because
now
that wasn't working.
what did you what was your experience? Because I know there's a lot of us that say like, okay, and I need coffee, and no, I'm fatigued, and no, I'm running around. But I mean, like adrenal failure, that's top level. Like I said, I
Hmm.
joked about it before, but that is really where I think a lot of people are headed if we don't slow down. So
Hmm.
what was that journey like for you?
Well, I
I
didn't
mean,
even know it was.
aside
Yeah,
from like the actual
no.
healing process, but when you I guess what I'm trying to ask is when you finally heard, oh, your adrenals are just pulling the plug on you, and then you kind of worked it back as you started to see improvement, what did you notice in your body once you implemented that initial month?
Yeah, initially it was, I didn't even know this was a thing. I knew nothing about them. So when he told me my adrenals were crashing, I'm like, well, I don't know what that means, but that can't be good. And I just went on. I ignored him. And so I
It's
didn't,
those adrenals.
it's fine. I don't know what these are.
Just a little
Never
gland
heard
somewhere in my
of them.
neck. I'll take them out
I
later.
know. Who's this medical professional looking out for me? So then 3 weeks later, like it got worse. And when I was telling him what was going on, he goes, "You are in complete failure." And that's when I started researching. I'm like, holy cow. And it was just, I didn't always drink coffee. I used to hate it. And I would power myself with water. So it was getting myself back on water and getting my energy up through water. And so it was just that process. And I've always done yoga, so it was making yoga more of a practice. And it was finding more holistic, organic, natural ways to gain energy. And that was eating better, being more conscientious, like just taking the slow roads. Like if it was going to be faster, it didn't always mean it was going to be better. It was just getting back to, I think, the life I knew growing up and that I had gotten away from, that was, completely stressing me out. And but I was in the fast lane, literally in the fast lane, trying to supercharge my way to, and I made the goal. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but I was homeless, and my goal was to never be homeless again. And I wanted to buy a house, and I was working for Uber, and I went to how to buy a house class. That was a community course, and it was led by a lender, Scott Layden. He's amazing. So if you want to buy a home, please, him and his wife Barbara are incredible. And Darren something was a real estate agent who I've lost touch with, thank God. But I learned a lot, and I went and talked to them like, what do I need to do? And so like I was trying to do everything I could because my goal was to like start to get my hands into like real estate and learn if I liked it and this and that. And I bought a house by driving for Uber.
Wow.
And it's interesting because then I haven't been in the Facebook groups because I don't drive for Uber anymore, but I know then, and I believe it would be the same now. They will tell you you can't buy a house driving for Uber
How's
because
that
you're
attitude?
right. Well, because you have to put in the work, you have to be able to put in the hours, bring in the income that you need to bring in. Like I crashed my adrenals trying to do it, but I did it. But I was also able to say I went from being homeless to a homeowner.
So all that being said, was it worth it?
Yes.
Okay. So now what would you tell somebody who's in that? Because I think there's two competing narratives out there. One is this hustle till you die culture,
Right.
and the other one is the no work life balance, and you should like we shouldn't all be just feeding the machine, which parts of which I do agree with both.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
literally rode that line of yes, it was worth it. Yes, I almost killed myself. Yes, I had to bring myself back to health. And here's what happened. So that to me is fascinating.
Because it was the
What's
lessons I learned along the way.
Ah, so
It
would
there's
you
I
go
would
ahead?
probably do it. I can't see myself doing it differently due to the circumstances I was in, because
Okay.
I want you can improve your credit score by 100 points in a year. And I was told, like, this is what you need to do. This is the, like, we ran my credit report. I was to a point where I was calling this how amazing these lenders are, because they were so patient. I was calling them every 3 months, like, am I ready? Can I go? Da, da, da. They're like, nope. You have to do this for 2 years. But I was 18 months in, and they let me start the process
Wow.
because they saw what I had been doing and I had been on top of it. Is there getting into real estate? Like, it's so interesting when people are like, oh, it must be so nice you bought a house. Anyone can buy a house. It's whether or not you want to put in the work.
Yeah.
It's as simple. I sat at the RAIN meetings in Nashville with hundreds of people who were at all stages of real estate, and the ones who owned 100+ houses would tell you, when you first get into it, there's no money. It is hard. It's those who stick with it will figure out. I did learn long-term rentals are not for me. I
Okay.
would much rather do the short-term rentals with Airbnb and VRMO or whatever that other site is called, and what's it, they came my way.
Yeah.
I would much rather do that type of thing, because tenants, I am not meant to be a landlord, and God bless property managers,
Yes.
because holy
Yep.
cow. But if you
I
have a goal, you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to figure out, what is it worth it for you? And then if it does get too much, what are the alternate routes to help you get there? Maybe it will take a few years longer, but then you don't, that's a sacrifice. Like, you have to figure out what works for you. And I think that's why I wouldn't change it, because I got to my end goal. I still regret not getting the one house I wanted in Nashville, but that was something that was out of my control. Because right after that, 6 months after that house situation fell through, that's because, long story, reported someone at work for being a horrible, horrible, verbally abusive manager. HR looked into it. He got mad, retaliated, and I was removed. So,
which stick around for our next episode. There's
right.
oh man, because
I
that's
just
actually
don't.
okay. So,
No, it's okay. I just
it's
don't
like behind the
tolerate toxic behavior at work, and it gets me in trouble. But whatever.
yeah, behind the scenes, guys. We talk. We always have like a little bit of a chat before, like, okay, what do you kind of want to talk about? Ooh, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. This coffee and adrenal conversation was not on the list, so
No, and I
this
even
is too
wrote like
good.
a bunch of notes. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. I
No,
even
but
took a bunch of notes.
this was too good to miss. I mean, here's the thing, like there's so many of us, and here's the thing, I am caught up in it right now. I am fully in this balance of like, okay, how do I, keep peace in my body, because I have to, as a healer, in order to be of service to anybody, I have to be in a stable place. But also, I've got some big goals. I want to do some big things, and that requires, big work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things of, I guess it really just comes down to priorities, right? Like you had your
Yes, I was
heart
just gonna
so,
say that.
you had your vision, you had your heart, you had your mind so set on, I will not be homeless again. Because, and here's
Mm-hmm.
the thing also, there's a different place. I think a lot of us are scared when we are not even anywhere near needing to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
Oh
homeless,
yeah.
it's a different kind of place to be in. And most of us are like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, pay off my credit card in full this month. Or, look, and here's the thing, some of us are getting near that place. Like there's a bunch of people right now who are getting near that place. And I am sending out all of my energy and all of my love and all of the prayers in every language that I can send you, because it's hard.
Yeah.
But to also be in that place where you get to the point of saying, I am never going to do this again, it gives you a different type of drive. It
Mm-hmm.
gives you that ability to push through and to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to grind this out And yes, I'm going to have to eventually slow down and take care of myself. But once I'm here, I will take care of myself. I think you do have to get out of survival mode before you can even worry about things like adrenals. And I know that that's someone's going to come after me for saying that. But when you're in survival, you've got no time to worry about your inner peace. And I mean, when you're in true survival, and there's a lot of people that I talk to that are still in survival mode after they don't need to be in survival mode. But if you're in true survival, if you are hungry, if you don't have a roof over your head, if you know what, f your mental well-being right now. And that's I might be speaking out of turn here, but get safe, get physically safe.
Yeah.
If you are choosing between staying in a toxic situation where you are being harmed, where you are being physically harmed, mentally, sexually, but emotionally, F whether or not you're going to be in a nice place in 6 months. Get safe. Get well, get fed, like get physically okay. Take care of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and then you can start worrying about, okay, work-life balance.
Because you never really get to that work life, depending on what you're after. You never really get to. It doesn't exist. I know Brittany Turner is a real estate icon, and she hates the work-life balance thing because she's had to work so hard to get where she is. I mean, the woman used to live, when her and I would talk, it was interesting how much we had in common. Like, she was much further in real estate than I ever will be, and God bless her for that. But like, we both lived in our car, we both were waitresses, we were both she was Miss North Carolina or South Carolina, and I was a rodeo queen. So like, the things we had in common. But yeah, like, you have to, you have to just figure it out what's right for you. But yes, you air mask. It's like being on the plane. You have to put your air mask on first before you can help anybody else, and before you can really truly help yourself, you have to be, at least I had my health. God, thank goodness for the fact that I had nothing super ailing me. There were times though my friend Jody would be like, I think you need more vegetables. I'm like, I'm poor. He's like, here's a carrot on the vegetable. Yeah, he'd be like, here's a salad and some carrots. I'm like, thank you.
And here's the thing, and there's also, for the little rant I just went on, there's the flip side of it of, okay, now when the hustle and grind is starting to kill you physically, again, get physically safe. Like, get to the point where it's not killing you, and had you been grinding and had it not stopped at the adrenals, I'm sure that had I known you at the time, and had I known like everything that you were going through, I would have probably started to say, sit your ass down. But at the same time, you rode that balance in an inspiring way. And yes, afterwards you did have to take the time off. That's where I think the balance comes in. It's the, it may not be 50-50 all the time, but if it's 100 over here and 0 over here, eventually that pendulum's going to swing, and you're going to have to spend 100 over here and 0 over here. So trying to integrate those two as much as possible, and giving yourself, again, here's the thing. If you'd just been grinding just to grind, if you'd just been grinding just to get just to get something you didn't need, or just because you felt like you had to, but you had a goal. The goal had an end point, and it was an achievable goal. So I think, I don't know. I'm really inspired by this story, and I can't wait until our next episode where we start talking about some of the stuff that we actually plan to talk about. But no, this, like, what does someone need to hear if they're going through what you went through?
Take time for you. That was the best thing. And that's hard, but that's the best thing I did for myself. Like, driving for Uber, I thank goodness had the flexibility. And there was 2 parks I went to often. One is outside of Nashville. It's technically part of Nashville proper, even though it's in the country. And I loved it because when I would go there, 99% of the time I was the only one there, and I could wander and be alone. And the other one it's in West Nashville. It's not far from White Bridge Road. You come off 40 or not. Yeah. 40 Briley Whitebridge Road, Charlotte. It's just off a little bit, and I'm completely blanking out on the name of the park. And I would just go there and eat my lunch, or I would like get out and walk. And that was what started to help me slow things down and take a break. But again, it was getting back in nature. I think for someone who's out there who wants to reach a goal, be mindful of your why. You have to know your why. My biggest why wasn't just to never be homeless again. I wanted to have the means to take care of my mom, because I knew that day was coming, and I knew I would need the money to survive, to either help pay for her or pay for myself to be able to care for her. And that was the biggest driving point. I remember being at a gas station, and like, I don't remember what I was doing with my car, but something silly was happening. And this very nice, well-dressed gentleman in the car over on the other side of the gas pump was like, we were having a banter, and he asked me out. And I wanted to say yes, but I'm like, I don't have time for someone in my life. If I truly want to buy this house and be in a position to take care of my mom, I don't have time for a relationship. And I told him no. And, you know, whether that was the right decision or not, I just knew I could not afford any distractions.
Well, if it's meant for you, it'll be held for you until you're ready.
Yeah.
So who knows? If it's meant to be, you might meet him at another gas station. You know,
right? It might be
now.
someone driving down the road past the farm or something. Who knows? But it's know your why. Set up. I mean, Taslandia, I'm telling you, we got to talk about that. That is brilliant because it's so similar to what I had been doing that helped me stay on track. And so I think like finding something like Taslandia in your life, like get it on your phone, get in like however you need it to be in your life. And then have the why written somewhere so that you see it, whether it's vision boards. Holy cow. I was looking around. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4 vision boards in my room right now.
Ooh, nice. I need to get back on mine.
It just, those are the things that I think make the biggest difference when you're going after something big and intimidating, like dream so big it scares you. And just tell your friends, you don't have to tell them what you're doing, because like some of my friends were like, you need to stop. And I'm like, I can't. And if you don't understand, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can't stop. I have to be able to do this. So thankfully at the time I had supportive friends, but that was a nice thing, being able to go to lunch with friends and slow down. You just got to get these little moments that kind of ground you along the way, because when it gets real, saddle up, partner, because she's about to go. She's bucking and snorting, and you just hold on and
yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, this was an amazing episode, and you guys stick around for the next one, because we're actually going to be diving into toxicity, as well as what happens when you've got someone in a position of authority who is toxic AF. So stick around. And I lost my train of thought. LaCresha. Look, just come back and listen to the next episode,
back in the next
guys.
One.
You're gonna love it.
We got you. Thanks for listening to Journey to the Rise. If you'd like to know more about Chelsey, go over to chelsealberthealing.com. And to sign up or learn more about Farm Girl Camp, check out farmgirlcamp.com/farm-retreats. You can find the links in the description. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you in the next episode.